Hello, welcome to Crypto News. Today is the 27th of April, 2025, and the top news for crypto is as follows. Moving on, we will go to the SEC and the new president of the SEC, who makes very nice statements. Let's say that the new president of the SEC gave his first full speech on Friday. In this speech, he basically reviewed the recent work of the Committee on Crypto and condemned the previous movements of the organization against the sector, which was then under the authority of Mr. Gensler and the former government of Mr. Joe Biden. Let's say basically that he also mentioned that the crypto space must have some rules for it to work and that he will give these rules to them himself, and from what we understand it will be friendly towards crypto. Moving on from the SEC, we will also go to Mr. Gary, as I mentioned, who explains why Bitcoin will last while most altcoins will disappear. You will find all this in the 17-minute video that I will have in the description, but in short, Mr. Gary Gensler said that most altcoins will disappear. He said that Bitcoin will last because there is a lot of public acceptance for Bitcoin, and he also said that a lot of people see Bitcoin as gold and use it as gold. So we agree with what Mr. Gary is saying so far. And we will also mention Dragonchain, which is a coin that in August 2022, the SEC essentially sued for unissued securities offerings that it said it made. Apparently we learned that a few days ago, the SEC also dropped that lawsuit as a result of the coin seeing a 136% increase on the 7-day chart. If we look at the full picture of this coin, we will see that it has not shown much sign of life in recent years. From the Dragonchain, we will go to Mr. Trump's coin, which is on the rise and is at 78% on the 7-day chart. Because, as we said in previous episodes, anyone who has a very large percentage of Mr. Trump's coin will dine with him. And how much money do you think you need? If you want to be on the list of 220 people, you will have to invest more than $357,000 to get into this dinner right now. However, the coin team came out and said that all these reports are fake. You do not need to give thousands and millions of euros to get into this dinner. All you need is to put in $420 and you will be entitled to dine with the President of the United States. What nice people. Now let's say there are some Jerseys who, to be sure of going to dinner, have invested up to $5 million to be able to receive an invitation according to this article. And while all this is happening, there is a US Senator who is calling for Trump's impeachment and is citing the meme coin dinner for this response, as he considers it illegal that Trump found a way like tickets for someone to contact him. Moving on to our coins, we will go to Arbitrum. The first news we learn is that Nvidia has essentially rejected Arbitrum from its AI accelerator program. Let's say that Arbitrum, as we know, wants to enter this program in order to strengthen its AI infrastructure with Nvidia tools. However, as I said, the first news we learn is that Nvidia does not want it. Moving on to the news that came out a few hours ago, we learned that Arbitrum has been removed from Nvidia's program. Let's say that Arbitrum has been removed from Nvidia's AI accelerator program because the chip manufacturer asked not to be named in any public announcement. So what happened here is that for some reason, Nvidia doesn't want to be associated with cryptocurrencies. What happened was that Arbitrum made a request. Nvidia was initially positive as far as we can tell. However, they had incorrect information about Arbitrum, as they say. So once Nvidia realized what Arbitrum was doing, they decided they didn't want to be associated with a blockchain project. For that reason, they asked not to be named in any public announcements. And there may have been other things under the table that we don't know about. So Arbitrum voluntarily withdrew. What we take from this is that Arbitrum will not be included in this program, it will not be supported by any AI technology, and it will have to look for another solution. And Nvidia, for some reason, does not want to be associated with blockchain projects. Moving on to blockchain projects, we'll go to DeFi Development, which is looking for $1 billion to invest in Solana. Let's say the initial funding, as we've said in previous episodes, was $500 million, but now they've changed and are looking for $1 billion to invest in Solana. And while we're talking about Solana, we're also going to go into its ecosystem and visit Meteora. Meteora is essentially one of the DEX on Solana, and they're facing a class action lawsuit in New York. The lawsuit alleges that the founder and Meteora essentially pulled a rug on a meme coin called M3M3, causing a total of $69 million in damages to users. They were cited in this case. From Meteora, we'll move on to meme coins in general, not just those on Solana specifically. However, what I want to tell you is that according to the British police, there are drug gangs that use meme coins to launder money. Authorities say that criminals often use cryptocurrencies to do this. However, since meme coins have been around and have become popular, it seems that criminals prefer them more because they are easier to manufacture and can be manipulated as they please. Moving on, it's time to head to our favorite cryptocurrency market, where Bitcoin is sitting at $94,000, with the price not moving much due to Saturday and Sunday. That wraps up the top news for crypto today is the 27th of April, 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care everyone, and have a good day.